Is anyone irredeemable in the mindset of God and Christ His church?
Well, in the mindset of God, according to Jesus Christ, no one is irredeemable. And the word redeem means, capable of being saved. So capable of being, reconfigured so that your heart, can, willingly and lovingly accept God and the blessed. Is anybody irredeemable in that sense? No one is irredeemable. Even Hitler, who may look for all intents and purposes like he's irredeemable, is not irredeemable. If he freely asks for forgiveness for his sins and has a change of heart, he is redeemable. God can even use that to now you might say, well, I don't think he might. Well, I don't think he probably did either, but who knows?
Right.
He might have, and God would respond. So the answer is no. No one is irredeemable in the eyes of God, who is unconditionally loving.
Do you think in some ways that almost ties in an odd way to the prodigal son story, in the sense of the Pharisees or people who feel like they're trying to do their best to live out? In some ways, they kind of don't want the other person to get off the hook so easily. It's almost like they want to limit God's mercy. They feel as if, I've been doing the right thing and now this guy's sliding in. But again, as you indicate, it should be that we're doing that because we love God, and ultimately, in many ways, I think, which is actually true if we do it for the right reasons, not that we don't have trials and tribulations, but your life is better. And so you should be rejoicing that your brother is back and not jealous that he's getting away with something.
Oh, yeah, and in fact, to be honest, this is part of Jesus' challenge to the Pharisees, right? That, he kind of says, hey, you guys might have a little bit of inauthenticity and bad faith here, because, what you're doing is you're laying up heavy burdens to lay on men's shoulders, and you're not lifting, a finger to help them. In other words, the idea for Jesus here is, you're not helping out matters by basically telling people to give up because they can't get into heaven because they're irredeemable, right? And as a matter of fact, that was what was going on. Basically, okay, you're at the tax collector level. Sorry to say, I think heaven's pretty much closed off to you. But that's, we'll ignore you. Prostitutes, sorry to say, you're irredeemable too. Let's see. Well, I guess Pharisees are savable. No, I'm just kidding. But the main thing, of course, is, when you see, what's going on, Jesus gets the angriest when he sees that people are saying that God's view is to proclaim people irredeemable, or God's view is to not let some group into heaven. That God's view is that somebody can't be saved. Then he actually has a very strong corrective, but he's also worried that the Pharisees are doing something else to themselves in the process. They are, that there's bad faith in there, that they're actually, it's not just about saving these other people. They're not just worried about calling them to repentance. They're really worried about the fact that they're going to get something that the Pharisees didn't get. They're going to get off the hook when the Pharisees, have been living a righteous life and kind of been holding their feet to the fire, right? And these people are getting in at the last minute, And of course, Jesus gives the definitive reply of the Father. Hey, who are you to tell me what to do with my money? Or are you jealous that I am a generous man? In other words, is that what you're really about? Or do you want to get what they got, plus more? This is not about that. There's only one motive in the heart of God. I'm going to save everybody that I can save who willingly comes to me and wants to follow and accept me. I'm going to try and save them. That's my objective. And of course, Jesus actually challenges them on their bad faith. Yeah, and I would say, yes, there's a lot of people who preach retribution
Right.
out there, the retributive God, or actually even the terrifyingly retributive God, and still preach, punishing down to the
Right.
fourth generation, because of course, in some sense, they want to count their righteousness as more than that sinner's righteousness who was a Johnny-come-lately to the faith. And yes, as you pointed out earlier, we should be rejoicing that somebody comes to the faith. Even as late as 1 second before death, we should be rejoicing, and not, of course, being depressed
Right.
because somebody got more than we did.